Welcome to the Elite Athlete Podcast. I am Dr. Nicole Tatro, and I'm here to help you unleash your peak performance and dominate your sport with fierce confidence and unstoppable energy. Whether you're a high-level athlete, a dedicated parent, a coach, or an agent, this podcast is for you. Get ready for ultimate strategies, expert insights, and cutting-edge tips that will take your game to the next level. We'll also cover personalized blood work analysis to provide unique insights that can transform your performance. We'll explore personalized health, optimized nutrition, and powerful recovery techniques. Whether you're on the ice, the field, or in the gym, together, we'll unlock your true potential and make your athletic dreams a reality. Let's do this, because greatness is within you, and it's time to unleash it. Hey there, welcome back to the Elite Athlete Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Nicole Tatro, and today we are going to talk about something that doesn't get nearly enough attention in the athletic world, at least in my opinion: fueling your brain. We all seem to focus on building strength, endurance, and speed, and I could give you the whole list, right, of skills and things that you can do in the gym, on the ice, on the court, on the field. But what about the mental side of your game? Your brain drives your focus, your reaction time, and your ability to make game-changing decisions. And guess what? It needs the right fuel to do all of that and to do it properly. You may be getting by, but can you imagine if you fueled it properly? Where could you go? Many of you know I played both field hockey and softball at Sacred Heart. And let me take you back to those days. I've mentioned this in the past couple of episodes, but I was juggling the two sports while trying to keep my grades up and working toward getting into physical therapy school. It was a lot to manage. By January, it was all in for softball, which meant 6 a.m.s. We called them 6 a.m.s, but it was 6 a.m., like indoor practice, obviously, because it's January and I was in Connecticut. So there was snow still on the ground and ice, and it was freezing. But all of this happened before classes even started. And I had a very hefty class schedule, so it's not like I could take a break during the day at all. But I would only be able to stomach eating some fruit and maybe a granola bar in the morning before practice. And I was someone at that point, I don't want to get into it really right now, but I had issues with my blood sugar back then. I didn't know that then, but as an adult, I've since figured that out for the most part. But anyway, I could not go to practice without having at least something in my stomach. But then, not to be gross, but the workouts were so hard, so tough, that some of us would actually get sick right in the trash can in the gym. So real, but so tough. Sorry. Okay, let's move on. But dinner was, I don't even remember what lunch was. I probably grabbed a sandwich or something really fast. If I even had time, I don't know. It's hard to remember those days, but dinner was often grilled cheese or pizza from Flick. Okay, that was the name of our cafeteria at school at the time. I don't even know if they still exist, but it was just a common word around campus. Not all of us were fans at the time because we probably missed our home cooked food. But anyway, looking back now, I did not eat well at all. And that was my first time away from home. I'm looking at, like, say, freshman year, right? My first time being away. I did not make the best choices. I did not have the background in nutrition or wellness that I do now. And that's why I think I'm so passionate. I want to make sure you all can get this earlier on. But anyway, so let's think about when we actually traveled, because we would have games that were a few hours away. In the morning, we were given bagels with a big hunk of cream cheese, and that would be before games. So great. Many people love bagels. Many people love cream cheese. So maybe it tasted fine. I did okay. I don't like that now, but back then it was good. But what is it, right? It's a bagel and cream cheese. So it was a bunch of sugar and not so great fat. But anyway, it sat like a rock in our stomachs. We'd all complain about it, but then we'd do it again the next day. But like, for example, with softball, we were playing at least 2 games. We had double headers every time for regular games. And I can't remember, when we were in down south in spring break, like I can't remember if we played more than 2 games in a day. But anyway, They were always double headers during regular season. So no wonder I was constantly sick when I finally slowed down during breaks at home. It happened every single time. It was like clockwork. My body was just shutting down and I would get sick. How frustrating, because I wanted to have fun when I was at home. But anyway, these days I see athletes facing even more demands. There's technically an off season, right? But is there really? Many athletes are training year-round, often without giving their bodies and brains a real break at all. That constant push can take a toll, especially if we're not giving our bodies the fuel that they need. One issue I see, particularly in sports, like, for example, I'm not picking on anything, but just these are what are coming to my mind quickly, is gymnastics or dance or even wrestling. These athletes are unknowingly being in a caloric deficit most of the time, or a quick caloric gain, especially with wrestling. I'm not that familiar, but I know that you have check-ins or weight categories that you have to be in. But these sports often have like weight related pressures, like serious pressures. And it's easy to fall into the trap of undereating or overeating without realizing the impact it's having on your actual body and brain. When your body isn't getting enough calories, your brain is the first to feel it. You might notice slower reaction times, trouble focusing, a headache, or even feeling mentally off. You get that brain fog, right? You've heard that word thrown around. And over time, this can lead to burnout and injury, or both. Now let's talk about one of the most misunderstood things. Cholesterol. Yes, I said it. For years, it's been labeled as a problem. It's the bad guy, right? But we actually need cholesterol, especially as athletes. Cholesterol is the backbone for making hormones like testosterone and estrogen, which are critical for performance and recovery. It also plays a key role in brain health, helping to build and maintain the structure of your brain cells. Healthy fats like eggs, avocados, and salmon are excellent sources of cholesterol and other nutrients that your brain needs to thrive. So I won't go any further on that, but just keep that in mind. When we don't eat enough healthy fats, we deprive our bodies of the building blocks for both physical and mental performance. It's not just about how fast you can run, how high you can jump, or how well you can play on the field, the court, the ice. It's about making split-second decisions under pressure. Your brain needs to be sharp, and it can't do that if it's undernourished. So, what can you do to make sure you're fueling both your body and your brain? Let's dive into some practical action steps. First, let's take a look at your actual plate. Are you getting a balance of protein, healthy fats, and carbohydrates? Protein helps with muscle repair, healthy fats fuel your brain, and carbs provide the energy you need to perform. Simple tweaks like adding avocado to your toast or choosing salmon for dinner, those can make a big difference. So now let's talk about hydration. I know I've done full episodes on hydration, but your brain is like 75% water, and even mild dehydration can affect your focus and reaction time. You want to aim to drink water consistently throughout the day, not just during practices or games. You want to stay well hydrated all day long, okay? And we can talk about adding electrolytes and those kinds of things, but just keep that in mind. Sleep is another huge factor, especially in athletes. This is when your brain processes everything it's learned and your body is repairing itself. If you're not getting enough quality sleep, you're not recovering fully. And we've talked about that recovery thing, right? We would love to have you try to aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. And it should be good quality sleep. And that if that feels impossible, start with small changes like cutting back on screen time before bed. I know, you guys, this is hard, but it will make a difference. Make small steps, small changes, like baby steps, and you will start to notice differences. This is the long game, okay? This is not quick fixes. It is doing those small steps that will reach you to peak performance levels. Those goals will be achieved, but you have to take those small steps, okay? Let's talk a little bit more recovery. Rest isn't just about doing nothing. It's about actively giving your body what it needs to bounce back. Like doing gentle stretches, foam rolling, or even a yoga session. Those can all help your muscles recover while also calming your mind, right? You're getting two things going on at the same time. For athletes who are juggling travel or a packed schedule, focus on small, consistent habits, right? Those small baby steps. Pack nutrient-dense snacks like almonds, a boiled egg, or a piece of fruit to avoid reaching for the processed options when your hunger hits. And if you're not sure where to start, one of the easiest things you can do is to check in with how you're feeling after meals. Are you energized, or do you crash an hour later? Really take note. I call it notice and name, okay? You don't want to judge it, but just notice it. So finally, let's revisit the importance of healthy fats and cholesterol. We talked a little bit about that. These are essential for brain function and hormone production, but they've been misunderstood for so long. Adding foods like eggs or olive oil and nuts to your diet can support not only your performance, but your overall health. The key takeaway here is this. Your brain is one of your greatest tools as an athlete, and it needs to be fueled just as intentionally as your body. When you're properly fueled, you're not just surviving the season, you're thriving with sharper focus, better decision-making skills, and more energy to dominate your sport. And who doesn't want that, right? If you're feeling stuck or you don't know where to start, let's work together. My game plan session is designed to help you uncover what's holding you back and create a strategy to fuel your performance. I made this just 30 minutes because we'll do a quick deep dive into your goals and challenges and build a plan tailored just for you. Okay? And you'll go away with a couple of steps, 1 or 2 steps that are tailored just for you. So plus, I've researched, and trust me, some incredible natural product lines that are perfect for the high demands of athletic bodies. Then I might be able to give you suggestions of what your next steps could be, what might be perfect for your unique body. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do these game sessions for long because these are one-on-one virtual sessions that take time. So I want to make sure you jump on that soon. Okay, I might be able to lead you into one of my hard lever programs, or maybe you're doing just fine and you just needed that little pep talk. Who knows? But how do you know unless you try? You can book your session today at www.the-eliteathlete.com. I wasn't able to get the full domain without the dash, so make sure you put that dash in there. So www.the-eliteathlete.com. That's the main site that will allow you to get to that bigger URL, the bigger place you need to go to book this session. So do that. I also include both of those links in the show notes if you would like that as well. Also, please, if you found this episode helpful at all, please share it with a teammate or a coach or anyone that wants athletes to thrive, that could use these simple, actionable tips where I'm doing the work and you can avoid the overwhelm and all the noise that's out there in this world when it comes to marketing. You can get that by listening to this podcast, so please share. Also, if you really love what you're listening to, please subscribe, follow, and you can rate it, especially for the Apple Podcasts. I'm more familiar with that channel, but you can rate it and leave a review. That really helps reach other athletes like yourself or other parents of athletes. That would really be awesome and would be a huge thanks for me. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Inside Edge. That is my free weekly newsletter for even more strategies to fuel, recover, and dominate your sport. Thanks for spending time with me today. Keep fueling smarter, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now. Thanks for joining me today on the Elite Athlete Podcast. Remember, achieving peak performance isn't just about what happens on the field, the court, or the ice. It's about mastering your body from the inside out. Every step you take, every adjustment you make to your health and mindset brings you closer to the athlete you're meant to be. If today's episode inspired you to take action, or you're curious about how you can level up your performance through targeted strategies like blood work analysis, head over to the-eliteathlete.com. There, you'll find program options that are designed to meet your specific needs and help you optimize your health and performance. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with your teammates, coaches, or anyone else you know who's ready to elevate their game. Together, we can build a community of athletes who aren't just strong and fast, but who thrive because they're healthy, balanced, and empowered to push beyond their limits. Stay committed, stay focused, and I'll catch you in the next episode of the Elite Athlete Podcast. Until then, keep striving for greatness. And remember, you are not alone in this journey.